Hey, welcome to I'm That Mom, the podcast about motherhood without the pressure of perfection. My name is Katie. I'm a self-taught entrepreneur who started my baby company while pregnant and grew it to an 8-figure business as a single mom of 3. Join us as we discuss the fun, funny, and messy parts of motherhood. We're certainly not experts. We're just here to support all the moms and hopefully, collectively, we don't completely it up. Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. We are post Black Friday and barely surviving.
Oh, God, it sure doesn't feel like it.
I know. I'm exhausted. I don't know when this is going to air, but just know that we are as tired as we look.
Yep, and we made it by the skin of our teeth.
We did. So, in light of that, I think we should have a whole podcast about judging people.
Or lack of judging people.
Yes. Yes, and actually this goes right back to the tired comment because once again, yesterday my mother told me, she called me to bring up again that I look so tired.
Wasn't that the first thing she said to you as you walked in for Thanksgiving?
On Thanksgiving. Yeah. And then yesterday.
But you've got a good comeback for her next time, remember?
I do, yes. I'm supposed to say, well, you look old, Mom. And then I just walk away.
And then you just walk away.
Okay, so we talk a lot about like why people shouldn't judge new moms or just moms in general because we're already putting a lot of pressure on ourselves. We don't need you to put pressure. But this time, let's talk about maybe judgments we made on moms before we became moms ourselves. Do you know what I'm talking about?
We all did it.
Yeah, like I think I've mentioned this before, but I used to judge, admittedly, moms that would put their kids on leashes in like the airport and not like a dog leash like around their neck, like one of those little bear backpack leashes.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God, like how do they have their kid on a leash? I am sorry for every mother I have ever judged for that because now I completely understand. Not only would I put my kids on a leash, I used to like fantasize.
I might have put my kids on a muzzle. Like they need a leash and a muzzle.
Or I used to fantasize about putting like one of those stakes in the yard and then
the ones for your dog where they can only run 30 feet.
Because when they're freaking 2 years old and they don't listen to the come back or stop, and then they would just play in the circle.
Yeah, and then you're going to end up on an episode to like Dateline or something.
Probably, or CPS would be
had
called
your
on me
child
or something.
chained up.
I know. I never actually put them on it. I just fantasized about it. But okay, so that was definitely one of mine, as I would judge moms that would have their kids on a leash. And now I get it. Look, you're doing it because you're probably in a big public place. Like I could see moms in New York or living in a city where they have to walk, and there's like they're crossing streets and things and their kids don't want to be in a stroller all the time. And I get it because sometimes holding hands, you know.
I get it.
Yeah. Sorry, moms. Okay, what's yours? I have a whole list here too.
So one thing that I always judge moms, now remember, I'm a little bit younger, but moms that take
yes, Kristen is younger.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I just grew up in a different age, so there's a little bit more technology for me.
Oh, you were a tablet?
No, so when I go to restaurants, I used to judge moms super hardcore, and if I'm being honest, still do a little bit. That they come to dinner and their kids are just glued to the phone, like immediately. Like they sit down, the kid's not even being bad, and it's already, they're like on the phone. And I know why some moms do it, because some kids are terrible at restaurants.
Yes.
But it is one of those things that I have tried so hard not to do.
Really?
Because I judged it so bad, I feel like I have to stick to it now.
Oh my God.
I judged it so much, so I can't do it.
My brother and his wife, if they're listening, they've got 4 kids under the age of like 5. And
oh God.
Yes, and we see them at
they might get an exemption.
They do, and they don't just give their kids don't just have their phones. They come with full iPads with the like padded stuff. But the upside is they park them all in the seats with their huge iPads, and then they get to sit and like have a beer or enjoy dinner or adult conversation.
That's fair.
Yeah. So, and as another adult at the table, I appreciate that the kids are like sitting there quietly.
I know.
Don't judge moms.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
No, I'm not. I mean, I kind of do, but I'm not at the same time.
I know.
I get it.
Well, because I think we want our kids to like participate and have conversation and not just be glued to the iPad or the phone. But let me tell you, like even as teenagers and you take them out to eat and you think you're going to talk about like the world's problems. No, good luck even getting them to tell you how their day went. They sit there like this.
They're like, no, I hate everything. Quit talking to me.
Yeah, they do. Yes. So we can't judge them. Okay. How about this one? My kids will never throw tantrums in public.
Oh. Ooh.
I have legit been at the grocery store and seen like both ways. I've seen the toddler that's like screaming for the princess snacks or whatever. and the mom's like trying to negotiate with them, and you can see her like
You don't negotiate with
sweating, right? And she's like, shh, be quiet, this and that, like the whole
Here,
thing.
what do you want? Anything?
Yeah, no, fine, take it. And then I have seen the mom that's like literally dragging their screaming child out of the,
Oh, I have left groceries
Yeah.
at the checkout.
Yes.
Because I will not.
And what
Grace did it when she was like 2,
Yeah.
on the floor, body limp.
Yes.
Because I wouldn't let her scan one thing.
Yes.
And I'm like, nope, we're leaving.
You ruined her
These
whole life.
groceries,
I know.
they can stay.
Which just made your life harder. But just know that if I had been there and witnessed you do that, I would have slow clapped you.
Right? I'm like,
that's a
sometimes
good
you just
mom.
got to tell that kid, all right, we're leaving.
Yeah. And you can't beat them in public. You got to take them to the,
Oh, no, it was one of those.
yeah, spanking on the way
On the
out.
way out. I was
know.
getting judged so hardcore.
I know.
And
It's
I had flashbacks
hard.
of like my mother, because that was me
Yeah.
as a kid with my mother.
Oh, we've all had temper tantrums, and our kids have all had temper tantrums. And if you're a parent judging a mom that's watching her child have a temper tantrum in public, like on an airplane, like
that would be the worst.
When I read comments about people like, what do you, I love the videos where it shows like the stewardess like carrying the baby up and down
It's
the
really
aisle, yeah, and like different people are like talking to the baby and whatever.
Like they get it.
Yes,
They know
and you
the
go into the
struggle.
comments and there's people like, I would never let my child, be carried by somebody. Well, where are they gonna go? We're on a freaking airplane. They're not gonna steal your child. Like, they're trying to, ease the pain because. And then I've been in the row in front or behind where the kid's screaming, and it's irritating. It is, but also I just feel for the mom or dad because I've been in that situation where you're trying to shove a bottle in their mouth, your boob in their mouth, like any snack
Anything.
possible, and they're just screaming. Maybe they're congested, maybe their ears are clogged, and so
It sucks.
somebody needs to buy that mom a drink, send it back to aisle
Exactly.
14, and yeah.
I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, we can't control that most of our kids just act like their fathers. So there's that.
There's that. Okay, how about this one? Well, we kind of said, so I'll never let my kids use screens. I think a lot of people say that now, especially with technology, because it's so common to go to a restaurant and see somebody like have their phone or have their iPad, out.
I'm not a no screen. Let me just be clear.
No, and I do.
It has its moments.
Do you monitor screen time?
Yes. So Grace, our rule, and we got a little lax on this with holidays, but she can have it on the weekends. It's like her free time, gets to have it on the weekends.
None after school.
But none after school. Like, she still has screen time. We still watch TV, but she can't just go hole up in her room and watch her iPad or YouTube or whatever. So we try to have a little bit of limits. I feel like I have to implement some right now. Otherwise, it'll be a free-for-all when she's like 10.
Yeah.
And then I'll have no control
Or
over
they get
her.
addicted. Totally.
Or she's addicted.
Yes. Well, now, because it's kind of hard as a parent to monitor it too.
It is.
To constantly be like, how long have you been on it? Where are you going? But
Because you're like, secretly, it's kind of nice you've been gone 3 hours.
Yes. So have I ever told you about my app that I used? I've used for years and years that monitors my
track
kids.
your children?
Well, I have that one too. I have a lot of parenting hack apps.
Are you tracking us too?
Yes. All of us. Are they at work yet? What are they doing? Okay, no, these are my two favorite parenting apps. So, one is Life 360, which is great when your kids are driving because then you can see where they're at.
I know a lot of people use that one.
If they're texting and driving and if they're speeding, that's older kids. But for younger kids, I use one called RPACT. It's like OURPACT. It is like Elf on the Shelf, but for all year long.
But is it just for a mobile device or is it for iPads too?
iPads too.
Okay.
So as the young ones, you can set timers on it where it actually shuts off. So you could say, Grace, you get an hour of screen time every night. And it will do a timer to keep it. And then it'll say, but you can't go past 8 p.m. or what time her bedtime is.
I love that.
Yeah. So you can set limits.
It takes less of the work off of me having to monitor the hour.
So even when they're older in elementary and middle school and high school, when you're battling against bedtime, but also they're old enough to shower themselves and do their homework and things like that, you can just set a time. And so all phone devices just shut off. It just shuts it off.
That's cool. Can I do that with Jonathan and his gaming too?
Yeah,
That would be awesome.
Yes, I wish. Okay, wait. The last thing this app is and this is not a sponsor. We should, because I actually think it's an amazing app. The last thing is for behavior. So, and this has been really great with teenagers. So if they sass you back, or they don't do their laundry, or they don't put away the dishes, or whatever, you can turn off their apps. And so, because, to discipline them, you take away what's most important to you or to them. Yeah. So like if you were Ashlyn and I'm like, you're going to lose your apps if you don't, whatever. And she's like, prove it. Right. And then I have to either chase her down and battle her for her phone to like take her phone away. And it's a screaming match. Or I just look at her and I go in the other room and I get my phone and I open the app and I can literally delete all of her social media. And
Katie's all like,
yes. And this is how I picture it. I've never seen it happen in live time, but I'm pretty sure she's like on her phone, like snapping all her friends. And I think that
my mom's the worst. Wait, what?
Yeah, because I think they just explode and then they go away. And she has to sit there and witness all her favorite things go down to nothing. And I purposely leave on, because they used to say, I need it for school and I need it for it. So I leave on the calculator and I leave on the phone, like not texting and no social media. Right. I leave the green phone on so that, because she's not going to call her friends. But that way I can get a hold of her if she's grounded for like a week.
I just imagine when the app goes away, there's just like confetti faces of Katie's face that just pop up.
Yes. Flames. There's like, you choose if they flame down, depending on how rude that teenager was. Like they either explode or burn down.
I wonder how many kids have gone on to pay for their own cell phones because their parents have
controlled them.
Yes,
that way?
They're like, I'm over it.
I don't know, but don't tell my college kids that because they're all still on it too. Okay, so awesome. Screen time. Yeah, I mean, I think don't judge. Everybody has to decide what's best for their kids and what scenarios to use it with. Okay. My kids will always eat healthy organic food.
Oh, next. Next. I'm like, my kids will not eat Lunchables. Yes.
Yes, they will. I know. Did you make your own baby food?
Hell no.
Neither did
Girl, we pouch city over here.
I wish I could have. It probably, was pretty good, but I was all for convenience. Yeah, look,
same.
I'm a working mom. I've got to buy I remember when those pouches came out. Like that was like revolutionary,
probably.
Yes, because then they could feed themselves, and I didn't have to do, like spoon it into their mouth. But no, I can't even get my 12-year-old to eat healthy. The only vegetable she eats is green beans. She's been surviving off of macaroni, cheese, pasta, or chicken nuggets since birth. And she's fine. And I take her to the doctor and they say she's fine. She's not overweight at all. Like she's happy.
She'll figure it out one day.
She's got the rest of her life to go figure out how to eat vegetables. I don't know. Right? Pick your battles.
Katie's like, here's a multivitamin.
I sound like mom of the year.
Here's a Flintstone.
I do make them take multivitamins. Okay, what else? Can you think of any?
I can think of moments where I think people probably judge me really hard.
What?
Like one time.
Like things that you've done, you feel people judging you?
Yes, like one time I was in a parking garage and I don't know what happened, but I was getting Grace out and like I opened the door and like she just fell out of the car. Like onto the concrete.
Oh, you forgot to buckle her in.
I guess so.
I've done that.
And I was like, oh my God. And I'm like looking around and there's this woman walking with her probably like 7-year-old daughter. She was
like in her baby car seat?
She was younger than 2. So I remember and then I lost it. Like I started crying and I'm all, and this mom's over here and she did not come and comfort me whatsoever.
Oh,
She was just like, I think she grabbed her dog. She's like, this woman is clearly not mentally stable.
Oh no, I've done that. I remember putting my babies in the car seats. I think they were in the front facing one. And I must have gotten distracted and I didn't, I know. Yeah.
She's fine though.
But we've done it. Yeah, it's fine. What about, I feel like this one you can relate to.
Oh no.
My car will never get dirty.
I have told people that you could literally feed 3 grown men from the amount of food that is in a car seat when you turn it upside down. Yes. Like it is
They might die of food poisoning, but it's there. Yeah, I know.
How does it get so messy so fast?
It's so hard to keep your car clean when you've got kids. You hand them a juice box, and what happens?
Oh, that juice box spills on the mat. It molds. Then paper sticks to the mold, and you're like, what is this science fair experiment?
Yes. Yes, and chips and French fries, all kinds of everywhere. And I know. We used to keep one of those little trash bags on the back of your head
and no one used it.
Yeah,
basically.
My car's clean now. There is hope for the future. Oh yeah. I saw inside your car.
Shut up.
You should judge her.
I always use the excuse, I have small children.
Yeah. It's like everybody's.
My kids will be 15 and 20, and I'll be like, I have small children.
Yeah. Yes. And your car will be all clean when you're a grandma, and theirs are going to be all filthy, and you're going to be like, I never.
I can't wait to just drop shit
Yeah,
everywhere.
absolutely. Okay, let's see what else. Co-sleeping. My baby will always sleep independently. So I think that stems more from like, I think new moms that read about like new babies and they get freaked out about you can't co-sleep, and that is
There's probably a balance somewhere.
There's safe sleep practices, and they say baby's not supposed to because of suffocation and everything. But do not judge if your friend puts the baby in bed. I don't know how many times I fell asleep.
Oh, yes.
Nursing.
And you don't even know you fell asleep. And
Yes.
you wake up and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
well, I'm glad you're still here.
Yes. Or we would use like one of those like co-sleepers and put it between me and my husband. And
Same.
so I think don't judge until you're in that position, because you will be. If you were ever the parent that was like, my child would never sleep in my bed, you're going to eat your words one day.
Or if you say, my child will never throw a temper tantrum in Walmart, I'm going to tell you right now, your kid's probably going to be the worst kid ever if you said that.
Yeah. Yes. And if you say, I am never going to have an epidural and I will only have a natural birth, you're having a C-section.
Yeah.
That is the way the world works.
Dude, I feel like the people that are like, no epidural, and then like 10 minutes in,
Epidural!
stick me.
Yeah, I know. I love all the TikToks about that. Okay. Here, Kristen, this one you can talk about too. My house will always be clean and organized.
I hate you. Katie's never even seen the inside of my house. She doesn't even know.
I have. I went
Barely.
when
You went
you
to my
had-
front porch, and my front porch is not a good indicator of the inside of my house. Just clearing that out right now.
Okay. But I will say, you should not judge when, because you think like you're only going to have your baby swing in one corner and you're only going to have like so many toys. No. Those kids, they're like wild tornadoes.
Yes.
And it takes them 3 seconds to tear everything up, and it takes you your whole damn day to put it back together.
I know. You be cleaning, and then nobody can tell you clean.
Yeah.
Because it all just comes back.
The best thing I ever did when they got old enough to play in another room was to like try to create like either their bedrooms as their play space, you know, because then you can shut the door. Like it was always when it
Katie's
was
all about, let me tie you up to a chain outside. Can you go in your room and shut the door for 3 hours?
And it would stress me out when all the stuff was in like the living room area. And so I'd be like, okay, mommy needs 30 minutes. You need to go play in your room. Only when they got old enough. I did do that. I did want to
I can't imagine you though, because you are a very clean, organized person.
Yeah.
Like throw kids into that, and I'm like, Katie's all like, I twitching all day long.
No, all I did was bend over and pick up toys, and I was constantly trying to figure out ways to organize. Like in our old house when they were little, I had 2 cabinets on each side of like the TV, you know, that like have 3 shelves above it, kind of thing, and each kid had this is when Lila was super little, so my other 2 had their own cabinet, and if you couldn't put your toy away in that cabinet, like, and it was just a simple little cupboard, that was the only amount of toys they could have in there.
I love that.
Yeah. And so, and then because it would get where they'd open it and the toys would go.
Oh, I made the rule that if I have to pick it up, it goes straight in the trash.
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you, Grace learned to pick up her toys real fast.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Because
yeah.
I wouldn't play it. I literally threw some stuff in the trash.
Yep.
And she about lost it. I was like, I told you, girl. I wasn't
Yeah.
playing.
Especially the little things.
Oh, the vacuum, you're all like, meh.
Yeah, no. Or
You
when
don't
I
even
make
care.
them clean their rooms, I know. My littlest one now is kind of OCD like me. Like she'll clean out her like drawers and closets.
Wait,
and
who's the one that you pulled the drawer out and there was like cups and like plates?
Ashlyn, my middle one, lets fungus grow like in her drawers. Yeah, and collects. Like one time we pulled out one of her bathroom drawers and all of my like cups and spoons were in there. We kept wondering where all of our spoons were going. And we thought, well, maybe the kids take it to lunch, like at school, and they throw them away. No, she was hoarding them like a.
That's so funny.
It was so gross. She's nasty.
We hope you're not
Ashlyn,
listening
I
right
hope
now,
your
Ashlyn.
kids one day do the same thing to you because it's disgusting. Okay, what else? How about my kids will never look like wild children in public. Okay, no, you know what? I think this is more, we were talking about this the other day with holidays. So, because now when I go to like my family Christmas, it kind of stresses me out because I am the oldest and so my kids are older and they like sit calmly and they don't do anything. But all my siblings have younger kids and they run around like wild banshees. Literally, like circles, and I'm just in there like with a glass of wine, like, oh my God,
What are they going to break
Yeah,
next?
and I'm looking at their parents, and they are completely oblivious to the fact that their kids are running around like wild, crazy people. And were you not part of this conversation?
I don't think so.
I think it must have been, with McKenna. And she was saying, no, she loves it like when she goes to her parents' house or is in family scenarios like that, because you're just like, it's fine.
I'm the same way. Like, I love to get rid of the family, and then other kids are being crazy as hell, and no one even noticed your kids being stupid.
Yes, but then us with our grown children, we've already done our time, or like in the fetal position, like having PTSD, like
Like, hey, are you gonna? No, they're good.
Yeah. So it doesn't bother you
No,
at all.
not all.
Yeah, that must be like a stage. I need to remember.
It's a stage. Me and McKenna are all
McKenna's
like,
nodding in the background. She's like, yep, that doesn't bother me at all.
No.
Yeah, I know. Okay, well, so for
Jonathan,
people,
come get these kids. Like, my cue was like, their dad will get them.
yeah, so anyone that's listening that doesn't have kids yet at the age of running around, right? They still have maybe babies. I could see that's where you would judge too. Like you're sitting there with your newborn and like they're sleeping, and then your siblings' kids are all running around like crazy, and you're just like, I will never let my kids.
And you're
do
looking
that.
at the one like, can you grow up already?
Yeah.
Like, we're really all having to curtail to your
your
sleep schedule.
And they're just in their head. They're like, I will never. You will. You will. You will.
That was the worst, honestly, when my sister would come visit and her kids were still little.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, wish my nephew and niece would hurry up and grow up.
Yeah.
This is really cramping our nighttime vibe.
See?
Meanwhile, me, like, literally 2 years ago was in that scenario, and I'm over here judging her already. Like,
I know. We just don't know until we know. Oh my God. I wish we could take a poll of like everybody's. I'm sure whoever's listening to this is like, oh yeah, same. I used to do that. Same. The whole thing.
just throw them in the backyard.
Okay. What about,
What else we got?
let's see.
Oh, what would you tell your pre-mom self?
Oh, that's a
Don't
good
have kids.
one.
No. I'm just kidding.
Take lots of pictures of you
kidding.
naked.
Yes.
You will never look like that again.
Yes. You thought you
ever.
looked terrible, girl. You look
You
good.
look good. Oh my God, let me think about it. What would I tell my
what
pre-mom
would you, Katie?
self?
Because you've been through all the stages.
What would you tell your pre-mom self?
Don't have kids. No, just kidding. No, seriously.
Just have one.
Just have one.
Just have one. It's easier.
Oh.
I would tell my pre-mom self to not. I would tell myself to not be so harsh. Like that there's no rules. Because I did with my first baby. I read all the books.
I would
right?
say don't say no so much.
Yes.
I feel like growing up, like my family was like, no, don't get in that. No, don't do that. No. You're terrible.
Yeah.
I feel like don't say no as much. That at the end of the day, it's okay. They're learning. They're figuring out.
Yes. If they don't eat their vegetables. Like I battled my kids about eating their green beans or their peas or their broccoli when they were toddlers, like in the car, like in the high chair. And they're fine. The
I
first
don't know. That's a good question.
By the third, I stopped battling it because you pick your battles, right?
You're like tired by then.
Yeah, you're like, here's your dino nuggets again. You'll be fine. I would tell myself. I mean, this is cheesy because people say like it gets faster the more you go. But I feel like when they were little, it dragged, and then now it's like literally flashing. The older you get, the faster it goes. I have no idea why.
What is that commercial that talks about the days are long, but the years are, the days are short, but the years? What is that phrase? Somebody help me out here. There's a commercial that did it really well, and it was really sentimental.
I think it's the days are long, but the years are
short. Yes.
Yeah. Even though it feels like all of it's long when you're in the thick of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So maybe I would just not worry so much about, like I would worry about if I wasn't reading to my kids enough. Well, guess what? I never read to them, and they read just fine. And they're really good kids with good grades. So that didn't matter. I'd worry about if they had enough.
But your kids should also read, just so we're clear.
Yeah, they need to read, but guess what? That your teachers will help out with that. It'll be fine. For real. It's legit. So I think I tell myself not to worry so much. That they figured out that kids are really like, what's the word?
Resilient.
Resilient.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Like if you drop them, they're going to be fine.
Oh my God. This has been crazy. I kind of feel like this was like a welcome to the...
I got minimum like
sweat on
stash.
it. I know.
It was minimal.
So we rocked the Don't Judge podcast because we are those moms where everybody judged us. And so we're basically like, look, don't judge moms like us because we're in it just like you are.
Yeah, and we're freaking awesome, okay?
Yeah. Oh my God, this is so fun. Okay, well, I can't wait till our next one. These are always so fun. My face always hurts from like laughing so much. It's crazy. Okay, so don't forget, right? We should remind people, join us at
Where are we at?
Yeah, join us at Caden Lane. Check out what we do. We're so lucky. Like, this is what we get to do every day for work, and it is so fun.
It is so fun.
And follow I'm That Mom on social media, Caden Lane 2. Subscribe to our podcast. We would love for you to join us on every one of our episodes.
Until next time.
Bye.